Cool, thanks guys. Well, it's up to you. We're going to stand up here. We're going to actually get some Q&A. We're going to have Dan from Blizzard and we're going to have Ollie on Blizzard. So they're going to be actually in the middle queue here. So if you have a question, just stand up, go on down and we'll answer your question. Before we do that, there's actually been a few questions from the community. So we sent a post out and we asked for your questions. And this is from people who maybe couldn't be here today. So we have one, are you going to let pre-made groups still queue in Hero League?
So, this is a ranked play question. So actually, yeah, we just released a blog post about this, in fact. We've gotten a lot of feedback from the community on the ranked play experience. We're heading in a direction that we're happy with, but you know what, there's still improvements we need to make. And so we've talked about some of those improvements, I think it just came out yesterday or today or something. In this regards, and so actually we are going to make the change in the future where we're going to remove like 5-man pre-mades from Hero League and move them into Team League. So that way all 5-man teams will be just in Team League. It will improve the matchmaking because both the 5-man teams are no longer split between two different modes. It'll also make, a lot of people had a lot of concerns about, well, if I'm solo queue, I'm going to match up against those 5-man teams. Our matchmaker already took that into effect, like I mentioned earlier, but this actually guarantees it now. Now it's for sure you're never going to go up against a 5-man stack unless you yourself are also a 5-man team.
Cool, thanks, Alan. So they are here, you just need to light up behind them. So we also have, what aspect of development for you of Heroes of the Storm was the most critical in your eyes to get right?
Yeah, I think start on that one. I think there was this critical point with Heroes as we kicked it off at BlizzCon as really a mod that we were demonstrating the power of the StarCraft 2 editor. And we got a lot of great feedback on it at that particular BlizzCon in 2010. And we then evolved it and we kept taking feedback, listening, and changing the game. But at that time it was very much what you'd expect in sort of the MOBA genre at the time. It had a lot of those things, it had items, it had other things, and the most important thing to get right was really changing the game. A lot of the things we spent time experimenting with, adding talents to heroes, making it team-based in nature, adding the variety of battlegrounds, that was critical to it, and it was making sure that we sort of found that core, found those things that drove what ultimately is Heroes, listen to the community with what they were saying back as they began to play it for the first times, and then standing our ground on the things that really we felt like was defining the game that is Heroes of the Storm to us, so that we were having fun with it. And that was this I remember right before 2013 BlizzCon of going out with it like, here's what we're really saying, this is the game, and that was the part we had to get critically right, I felt.
Oh, we have questions in line.
Hi guys, first of all, thanks for all your work, fantastic game.
Thanks for coming on.
Thank you.
One thing that's really been annoying me recently, get online, have a great game, but somebody is either AFKing or intentionally griefing. Do you have anything to possibly punish these people for AFK?
Yeah, so there's a bunch of things already in the game and there's things that are coming. So the number one thing, well, first of all, I'll talk about AFK. We actually do have a system in the game right now where someone genuinely just AFKs and sits there. If they're not actively contributing to the game, the system will recognize that and then give them a warning and ultimately boot them out of that game. And so if they get booted out of the game, number one, they don't get any of the rewards from the game, but also they're going to move into this lever queue, and they're going to start to be matched up with other levers. So it's just this system that we put in a little while ago to try to say, look, if these guys want to play this way, well then let's all put them together and have them go play that way together. The other thing is for other types of griefing, whether it's actually like someone being verbally abusive or something else, we do have a reporting mechanism in the game, and I want to call this out because maybe this isn't completely clear. We are actively taking these reports and we are actioning people. You may have already started to see people posting on the forums like, hey, I just got this letter from Blizzard and they said I was doing bad things, and immediately they say, no, I didn't do any of those things, but usually everyone else responds says, no, you did, and I'm glad you're gone. But we are actively actioning people as well. So if you get verbally harassed or someone is doing something that you don't think is appropriate, report them, and then we're going to take action. We have a fantastic customer service team, and they're working on that as well.
Yeah, and the reporting can be a little bit hidden, and so a couple things that you guys can help spread the word about is right-clicking on players in the game. There are portraits in the game on the score screen. There's also a report player in the score screen that tracks how you're doing in that particular game, and also after the game as well. So there's lots of opportunities to say this person was AFK or was saying abusive things, etc. And we really are on high alert as of launch with customer service to try and ensure that continues to get better and better.
And then finally, there's absolutely. Finally, we're not done. Like this is, I was talking earlier about Matchmaker and how it's one of these things where you don't just like finish it, you keep on working on this forever. This is one of those things, like we all know, we've all had these interactions with people on the internet. Sometimes people act a little bit aggressive, sometimes people are actually nice. Hopefully they're usually the nicer ones. So this is something we're going to keep on working on. It's not a solved problem. So we do have features in development that we're talking about. Potentially features that will automatically action these people and detect these people, features that would allow you guys to actually rate your fellow players and then give either kudos or to like negatively rate them, and then as a result they could either get bonuses or they could actually be actioned in some way. So there's a lot of different ideas we're talking about. We're not done here, and we're going to keep on working on this.
Yeah, one last thing. You guys are the heart of Blizzard community, the heart of players who are with us through all the thick and thin and through the journey. You guys can set the example. You can really help us out here. We talk about the values on our development team and what we're after there. If you're here at this event, you care. Set the example in Heroes. Be the champion for good. Say, hey, GLHF at the start of a game. Interact, try and set the great example, because I see it a lot. I'm playing a ton of Heroes right now, and seeing the GGs come up from StarCraft and going all the way back is so awesome, and it does set our community apart. Blizzard games can really change that over time. We're going to do our best to support it with technology and support it with our great customer service staff, but this is where it starts. We can all create great harmony and teams through your actions, so help us out, please.
So we have a lot of questions over here, so we'll get another one here.
Just in-game voice chat, is that something that you're looking at doing, or?
Yeah! Dota 2 has it!
I don't like talking. No. Absolutely, voice chat is on the way. We're working on it now. We are working on the core technology and hope to have something a little later this year.
Alright, so how are you?
Great.
Oh yeah.
How's it going?
Alright,
Fantastic.
I was going to ask a question along the lines of the blog post that you recently done and the rankings for Grandmaster and all that, but you kind of answered what I was going to say with the region locking. Will we have to compete with other regions for those Grandmasters? So I actually get to ask what I want to ask. So, esports stuff, are we going to get bans inside your drafting or some sort of support to help organise all that stuff?
Do you mean in-game?
Yeah.
Yeah, in-game it isn't there yet. So currently for the ANZ Championship, I'm going to have basically creating a lobby, the two teams to agree which ones they want to ban. So we're doing it kind of manually. Something that you guys might not know is that Heroes of the Dawn, we actually ran a ban as well. So basically the two teams will communicate with each other. It's something that I believe we're looking at in the future, but currently it's going to be sort of done together.
Yeah, actually, if you read that blog post, we kind of dropped a hint in there that one of the benefits of moving the 5-man pre-mates over to Team League is that there's certain things like bans and maybe some other improvements that make more sense when you have an organized team who can actually discuss these things. And so making that change will allow us to actually put some of those things in like bans, and it's something we're absolutely looking at.
Just in-game on characters select at the moment, you have easy heroes, medium heroes, hard heroes, very hard heroes. What factors decide that? Because sometimes it seems kind of random.
Yeah, it really depends, and it is somewhat subjective as we look hero to hero. Some of the things that, control is one of the things we think a lot about. If a hero requires a lot more attention to how you're controlling it. Lili, for example, a hero I highly recommend starting with if you're new to it. You can just mash Q and be helping your team out by spreading your healing around, right? And start to understand the game better. She's easy. But when you start talking about Lost Vikings, who I feel like are the most difficult of all of the heroes, Abathur after that, some heroes like Illidan, it starts getting a little subjective there. What is the right way? And we try our best to have the designers basically categorize them, but sometimes they're really good and they say this is it's medium, it's moderate, or whatever, and maybe it's very difficult. So if you have feedback that way, absolutely share it. We'd love to hear it. Is there a particular hero you're worried about?
No, there's a lot of medium heroes, so it kind of seems like.
Yeah, I actually think we need to do a pass of that, to be honest. The thing that happened is we started with a set of heroes, and maybe like Tassadar was actually a difficult hero at one point, and then now we've got Lost Vikings in the game, and so our calibration's a little off.
Tassadar is still listed as a very hard hero at the moment, and he really isn't.
Well, that's what I mean. At one point, he was probably a very hard hero, and now if you look across the range, maybe he's not as hard as some of these newer guys. So it's probably something we need to go back and look at.
Yeah, noted. We'll definitely take a look at that upon getting back. Thanks so much.
Another one for Mike?
Hey, I'm from the community, but like if people are looking for TS, like in voice communication, just join ANZ, Local will hook you up. He does help the community. But my question is, will we ever get map videos like in StarCraft?
So that is something we're also talking about. So right now, we really don't have enough of a map pool to make that effective. We're still kind of growing the base game. We didn't want to put this in. We had three battlegrounds, and then immediately everyone's vetoing all of them. So right now, the answer is no. We're still looking at it. As we keep on adding more battlegrounds, it's something we can talk about. We haven't, just like everything in this game, I don't think we've shut the door on a lot of things, with the exception of maybe some of the stuff Chris talked about earlier, that we've defined the core game. But absolutely, it's something we're talking about, and we'll see. But for right now, we don't have immediate plans to.
My question may have been answered already by this new blog post. I haven't looked at it yet. But I was wondering in regards to the ranking system, were there any updates? Kind of get to rank 1 and you drop back and kind of balance out. Is it really a reward for getting up there? You can get up to rank 1 with a negative win ratio. Any updates? Again, may have been answered by this blog post.
Yeah, sure. I think you should go back and look at the blog post, because it talks about a lot of it, but I'll just briefly mention it. Absolutely. Right now, the ranking system, the problem that we're facing right now is we created this system that has a lot of a progression mechanic to it. So you start out at 50, similar to how Hearthstone works, and you move your way up. The thing is, we also use your MMR to match you. And so early on, we might match you. Your MMR, your skill, can move faster than what your actual rank can move. And your rank is supposed to represent your visual skill. It's supposed to say, here's how good this person is. But if you win a lot of games very quickly, that rank might not actually reflect your actual skill. So what we're doing is we're going to add some placement matches that allow you to actually figure out how good you are, and so that rank can accurately reflect your skill. And then we're also going to add at the top end, rank 1 specifically, like you mentioned. It's an open-ended kind of, basically whoever can reach this high level of skill gets into rank 1. We want to add that equivalent of Grandmaster so that we can actually distribute that out. And once you get into Grandmaster, your rank will actually be the exact position you are in Grandmaster. So you'll know exactly where you stand amongst all the players from your region.
Thanks.
Thanks for your question. Okay, we're moving it along faster now because we do want to get to as many people as we can. We're going to try and be briefer with our answers.
Sorry, we talked so much.
Hey guys, what's up? So currently the lineup of StarCraft characters is very assassin heavy, Reina, Tychus, Nova.
Assassins rule.
Sure. When can we expect more warrior support? Because there's only Tassadar, and I haven't seen a StarCraft warrior yet.
It's coming. I can't give you a specific date, but yes, we've heard the feedback. We want more StarCraft in the game, and it is on its way. Expect more this year.
3 more over here.
Alright, hi. Just want to ask, what's your plan for the rewarding system in the future coming Hero League seasons? Because you mentioned the season's going to be about 3 months. So I'm maybe expecting more than a portrait.
So it's actually something that we're still talking about. Right now we're discussing potentially having 2 different rewards. One for simply getting to some level within the ranking system, and then another for achieving Grandmaster. And we're discussing what that means. If we have that reward a lot lower in the first one, a lot lower in the ranking system, then maybe there wasn't as much effort as the guy who got the Grandmaster, and so if we had equivalent rewards, it might not make a ton of sense. So we're still talking about it. Absolutely, we want to have rewards that actually are meaningful and like you want to strive for. So it's great feedback though, and actually we'll go back and talk about that some more.
So I think we have time for 2 questions, just really quickly. Remember, these guys are actually going to be out in the lounge out there for your questions.
Yeah, absolutely. We will be out after. Please feel free to talk to us, walk up to us. We definitely want to talk with you and hear what you're thinking.
Well, thanks for coming down and spending time with us at the launch.
Thank you.
Question was, how long has Heroes of Storms been in the books for, and what was the inspiration for it?
So is that like how long it's actually been on the books for?
How long has Heroes of Storms been in the work?
Oh, in development. Yeah, so it started in 2010 as a mod map for StarCraft 2, and then it evolved. But we really didn't make it into Heroes of the Storm until early 2012. We said, we're going to shift this from being a mod and an example into a fully fledged game that's going to get the backing of an entire development team and go for the moon kind of a thing. So it was a big decision, but it started as early as 2010 with mod map that we showed at BlizzCon.
Thanks for coming down, guys, and appreciate the matchmaking.
Thanks so much for having us.
Logic, appreciate it, guys. Easy one turned on. Out of the entire multiverse, what heroes would you guys like to see in the game?
Across the entire one, me personally, StarCraft 2 is near and dear to my heart. I'm really looking forward to Legacy of the Void and sharing it with all of you guys. So I'd love to see a StarCraft 2 hero land, and I'm particularly interested in seeing Artanis, if we can have him appear as well.
So having worked on StarCraft for so long, I should say a StarCraft hero, but actually I'm going to do something else just because I love the look of this character, is Malthael from Reaper of Souls.
Round of applause for these guys.
I think it's so far. I'd like to hand the mic over to Chris Stady.
Can't do much with a clicker. Wow, that was awesome. So thanks everyone who's here in the room, and thanks for everyone that was on forums and on social media that have been asking questions. I know it's frustrating sometimes. I know a lot of people think that, oh, Blizzard isn't listening, there's no blue posts on this thread. We read them all, we really do. But there's only so much we can say. And that's why we dragged the technical director for Team 1 down to talk the real deal about what's happening behind the scenes. So this came from our hearts big time, guys. So before we close things off, I got a little something special. You gotta always close off with a little bit of a bang. So we've got a giveaway. So the lovely Marie Peters, our marketing manager, is going to hold this up. Make sure you're careful on the steps. Okay, does anyone know what this is? I think this is maybe the coolest piece of swag that we've ever designed as a company. This is the Rainer statue from Sideshow Collectibles that is engineered from 525 different pieces. It's fully articulated, which Sideshow Collectibles, they're normally just standing there, they can't move them. This one, you can do a lot of cool stuff with them. Okay, it's actually worth over 700 Australian dollars if you shipped it in. So, one person in this room is going to get it. So it's been interactive. So everybody on their chair had a Funko character. And just so you guys know, inside that character is also a card for a hero in a skin inside the box. So when you crack it open, don't forget that's in there. And guys, please don't grab extras off the other seats. We're going to find great homes for these to share with as many people as we can. But I want you to take that Funko, you don't have to open it up, don't have to open it up. I want you to spin that character around and look at the bottom. And who's got a blue sticker on the bottom of their character? It's a round blue sticker. Right here. Come on up, you've won it. Hey, Chris, Alan, I'll get you guys to pop back up here too. Maybe we can get a photo here with, here, come on, right up, come up on the stage with us here. That's it, it's yours. Here, come right in the middle. Congrats, what's your name? Melissa. How lucky is she, people? Very welcome. Okay, I'm gonna get everybody to come up, actually. Chris, Alan, I'm gonna get you to come up. Marie, if you can come up. Dan, PJ, I want everyone to come up on stage just so we can close this off. So, now it's an opportunity for us to thank you guys. Now, a lot of people in the company, Mike Gorman in particular, said this on a number of occasions. When we do BlizzCon, it's a big deal and it takes a lot of time and it just kills us to put it together. This was a really tough event to put together. But we put it together because selfishly, it recharges our batteries too. This is what we want to do. We want to be able to hang out with you guys, which we're going to continue to do tonight. So, the last thing we're going to do is show you a trailer. And I want you to sit through the trailer, and at the end, the lights are going to come back up. You're going to walk out. And on your way out, as a special thank you to you guys, and this actually is coming from Chris. Chris is like, I want to do something special. What do people do for a group of people that's special? Well, they buy them a drink. So it's our shout. Everyone can grab a beer, a wine, a soft drink, so you're going to get a ticket on your way out, okay? So, I told you it worked. So, I want to thank the guys for coming down from the U.S. 30 plus hours on a plane isn't easy, so thanks to Chris and Alan. I really want to thank the Blizzard ANZ team because that guy and these folks and me are it. So we're a very small team, but we work really hard for you guys. And the last thing I want to thank is you guys, because you make it all worthwhile. Thanks a million, guys. Enjoy the last trailer.